What's up guys, this is Balázs from Racing Brick. Today I would like to present you the brand new LEGO Creator Expert car for 2020, the Fiat 500. The set comes in an average sized box, similar to other Creator Expert cars. On the front of the box you can see the car in a nice Italian environment in front of the Colosseum, just like on the painting next to the car. On the back of the box there's a nice Italian street and some highlights of the different details and features. On the sides there are some nice comparison photos with the real car and some technical drawings as well. The car is based on the Fiat 500F model from 1965. So let's open the box. The set has 960 pieces. The official price is €79.99 or $89.99. There are 9 numbered bags in the box split into 3 phases, a separate bag for the fabric sunroof and a manual with a sticker sheet. The sticker sheet is not very big, and as you will see later, most of the stickers are actually used on the different accessories and not on the car itself. The manual has a really nice design. I'm glad to see the extra details and information at the beginning. I think it adds a lot to the building experience. As a nice gesture, the text is in English and in Italian. We get some information about the history of Fiat, the birth of this specific model, the design process of the LEGO model and much more. Here is the full part list of the set. I don't think there's any totally new items here, although I'm sure there are a lot of parts that did not exist previously in this cool yellow or a bright light yellow color. So let's start building the car. The whole process took me around an hour and 45 minutes. The 3 phases are more or less distributed equally. We start the building process with a studied Technic frame. It has some interesting connections reinforcing the structure. As you can see, the axles are totally fixed, so there's no suspension, which is not a surprise in a Creator set, but it means unfortunately there's no steering either. After the axles, we start building the rear bumper with the rear lights. The engine will be at the rear of the car as well. There are some interesting parts used here, like the black headpiece or the flower. With a few additional unusual pieces, the engine details are ready. It really looks like the original. After the engine, we build the rear side panels with the wheel arches. These are normally straight pieces, but they have hinges, so they are not parallel to the base of the car when they are built in. This is a really cool technique to recreate the curvy shape of the original car. Here comes the section behind the back seat with a weird color choice for that big brick, but it won't be visible afterwards. The seat holders are attached to the floor along with the gear shifter, the handbrake and some other accessories. We finish bag 1 with the base of the front bumper. With the parts from bag 2, we continue to build the rear side of the car. This is the section where different curved panels meet on the real car. I think the designer did a pretty good job trying to recreate these shapes. The rear seat goes in place. It is built from 2 bigger parts connected with a hinge. The front seats are built afterwards. There's a very interesting piece used to connect them to the floor. I've never seen this one before, but I have to admit I never built a Unikitty or Next to Night set, so it's understandable. The seats are actually pretty difficult to put in place. You need to align them properly to fit and also to be able to recline, and with those weird connector pieces it is not an easy job. The next bigger item is the dashboard, which has the fuel tank on the other side. This is actually the first time when we have to apply a sticker. You can see the car key there with some other items. The next one is the steering wheel with a cool printed Fiat logo. There's a spare one in the set, so you can use it for your next custom Fiat creation as well. The steering wheel is also adjustable, although I'm not sure if it works the same way on the real car. And now we arrive to the doors. They are actually quite complex with lots of details. I really like, for example, the ice skate piece as the door handle. There are again some clever building techniques used to connect the different curved parts, and the result is very nice. The doors are working well. There's a little gap on the top, but I think it is okay. The next one is the rear window. It is quite interesting because it is actually a regular window used in many city sets, but this time it is built in sideways. It is interesting for the first sight, as on the bottom we don't have the same smooth surface as on the top, but when it's built in, it won't be really visible. So this is the end of bag 2. Let's move to the final phase. Here comes the front of the car with the brick-built logo and another printed tile. Yes, I know the logo is upside down, but it's 1 AM currently, so please forgive me this little mistake. The next parts are the front wheel arches. The structure is similar to the rear ones. It connects with a hinge and the front of the car is angled. The hood is pretty simple. It follows nicely the lines of the car. The curved side windows appeared first in the Manchester United set. They also fit here perfectly. It is interesting to see the sticker on the side of the windscreen. Not sure when the folks at LEGO decide to create a custom printed piece or a sticker. The Ferrari F40, for example, had a windscreen that has a print on the sides. I always wonder what is the reason behind the strict color coding of the Technic sets that overrides the aesthetics. These two stud-long axles are only used in black in non-Technic sets, and there are countless scenarios when they would be a better choice than the red ones. At least you can buy them directly from LEGO. Here comes the roof with the fabric sunroof. The structure is a bit flimsy before putting it in place, but it will work well. Here's the spare tire, and afterwards we built the tailgate with some more stickers. There are 3 sets of license plates for this set, one for Italy, one for Denmark and one for Germany. The car is almost finished. Here's the suitcase that goes on the luggage rack. When I first saw the photos, I was afraid that these tiny stickers has to be applied individually, but luckily there are only 3 bigger ones. Now we only need to install the shiny metallic wheel covers and the car is finished. The only remaining item is the folding easel with the painting and the color palette and the paintbrush. There are quite a few spare parts with some custom and rare pieces as well. Let's see the features. As I mentioned previously, the opening hood follows nicely the shape of the body. Unfortunately, these curved pieces on the side are only attached to the rest of the hood at the end, so it is not too difficult to move them accidentally. The spare tire is a bit difficult to remove, but otherwise it sits nicely in its place. If we check the car from the top, it is visible how the curves of the car were recreated. The front and the back is actually narrower than the middle section. There are some subtle but well-designed details, like the top corner of the door covering the gap behind the hood when it is closed. I'm not sure if the doors are supposed to open fully on the real car, but they do on the LEGO version. The seats are a bit difficult to reach, but they can be reclined to provide access to the rear section. The tiny dashboard and the steering wheel has some nice details. It can be also adjusted, but unfortunately it is not connected to the wheels. The suitcase can be attached firmly to the luggage holder. Once removed, we can have a look at the detailed engine. The rear of the car seems to be a bit chaotic with all the different curves and slopes, but I don't think there's a much better way to recreate the original shapes without introducing new custom elements. The sunroof is a nice extra. For me, it wasn't obvious for the first sight how it needs to be folded and unfolded properly, but I took a look at the designer video and found out the correct technique. I really like the folding easel with the painting and the painter's accessories. It adds a nice artistic touch to the set. It is also nice to see that everything can be packed properly and put in the car, although it requires some practice and you definitely don't want to drive the car in a rain like this. A few thoughts about the color. It is an interesting and unusual choice. I can't say I'm a fan for the first sight, but it definitely looks better here than the standard yellow would look. I read some complaints online about some missing details. The most frequently mentioned one was the missing rear view mirror on the side of the car. It is quite interesting because if you have a look at the images in the manual, those cars actually don't have a rear view mirror. I found several photos online where the car from the same year had a mirror, so I'm not sure what is the cause of the difference, but for sure it wasn't there on all cars. I have to admit I'm not an expert here. Please let me know in the comments if you know more about the mystery of the rear view mirrors of the Fiat 500. If we compare the overall shape with the real thing, I think it looks quite similar. Not sure if the curved windshield or other curvy details could have been built better without any new custom pieces. Here's a quick look of the Fiat 500 next to the Creator Expert Ford Mustang. The size difference is quite visible, although the real cars are very different too. Actually, their scale is pretty close to each other. So, what is my conclusion? I think the Fiat 500 was a great choice for the Creator Expert line. It is truly an iconic car. The Lego version captures the shape and the look of the car successfully, considering the limitations of the available bricks. The added extras are really nice. It's a great building experience for a reasonable price. I would only complain about the lack of steering. After the Mustang, I was really hoping to see a functional steering in the next Creator Expert car as well. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe and tap the notification bell if you want to see more Technic reviews and other LEGO RC videos. See you next time, bye bye!